Welcome to the Stateless Standard, where we raise the golden torch of liberty against the endless deceptions of the powerful. Here, it's the people versus the statist elite, who monopolize violence, rewrite history, and fund ideologies to keep the wars profitable and the chains invisible. I'm your host, and today we expose a foundational myth of modern conservatism. Is neoconservatism nothing more than a CIA front? This isn't fringe speculation. It's drawn from declassified revelations, Senate investigations, and the admissions of insiders themselves. The following story is based on research by Greg Pavlik, published in a 1997 edition of the Rothbard-Rockwell Report. Pavlik's analysis traces how the CIA's Cold War propaganda machine birthed the neocons and infiltrated the American right to crush isolationism and entrench the warfare state. We'll unpack the history with facts from church committee reports and beyond. We'll reveal the Trotskyist roots and media manipulations that would make anyone scoff at the crony cartelism. Cynical? Absolutely. Because when the state fights communism, it usually just swaps out one collectivist leash for another, with you and I, the people, paying in blood and treasure. If you're ready to reclaim the real American right from statist hijackers, subscribe and hit that bell. We're building a voluntary vanguard against empire. Flashback to 1947. The CIA is born. Europe lies in ruins after World War II, and American planners, government and corporate cronies, see their chance to dominate the New World Order. But there's a problem. The American people, fresh from isolationist traditions, aren't eager for endless global policing. Enter propaganda on steroids. The CIA pours 29% of its budget into media and propaganda. That's billions in today's terms. Their targets? Discredit parochial desires for peace, vaccinate against neutralism, and demonize disarmament. Why? Disarmament threatens the freshly entrenched military-industrial complex, where government contracts mean perpetual profits without market discipline. From an anarcho-capitalist view, it's classic interventionism, central planners fearing the blowback of actual free markets and non-aggression. Harry Truman, advised to scare the hell out of the American people, inflates the Soviet threat, despite no real invasion risk. The result? A compliant public footing the bill for empire. But how to sell it? Through the press, of course. The CIA funds or infiltrates dozens of outlets. West German news agencies, French papers, Penn in Paris, and Forum World Features, feeding stories to 140 newspapers worldwide, including the Washington Post, which knew it was CIA-controlled. Axel Springer gets over $7 million to build his media empire. The agency owns or subsidizes 50-plus newspapers, radio stations, and periodicals, infiltrates dozens more, publishes over 1,000 books. By the 1970s, propaganda costs top $285 million annually, more than Reuters, UPI, and AP combined. Copley Press runs as a CIA front for decades, spewing disinformation in Latin America while the agency backs torturers, murders priests, and rigs elections. Domestically, illegal but routine. Pro-Contra liars like Edgar Chamorro manipulate Congress. Over 400 journalists on the payroll per church committee leaks. Owners like Henry Luce, Philip Graham, and the Sulzbergers cozy up to Langley. Washington Post Queen Katharine Graham admits the public doesn't need to know certain things. Democracy thrives on secrets. Cynical elitism at its finest. The powerful decide truth for the stateless masses. Now the smoking gun. This media machine didn't just fight Soviets, it engineered ideologies. Enter the Congress for Cultural Freedom, the CIA's crown jewel for intellectual control. Launched in the 1950s, it rallies anti-Stalinist leftists across Europe, America, Australia, Japan, even Africa and India. Funded through fake foundations, it pushes social democracy, a heavily armed NATO Europe, the common market, and outright scorn for pacifism or disarmament. Criticism of US policy? Only if it stays within Cold War assumptions. Never question intervention itself. F.A. Hayek nails it. The CCF wasn't planning freedom's future, it was writing its obituary. Key players? James Burnham, Daniel Bell, Arthur Schlesinger, Lionel Trilling, Sidney Hook, the lifelong Menshevik, and crucially, Irving Kristol, editing Encounter magazine under CIA handler Michael Josselson. Kristol and his ilk start as cafeteria Trotskyites. Hitler-Stalin pact hits. They pivot seamlessly to defending the US warfare state. When the CCF's CIA funding leaks in the late 60s, it collapses. But the core group? They rebrand as neoconservatives, Justin Raimondo documents it in Reclaiming the American Right, Same People, Same Interventionism, New Label. From a libertarian class lens, it's transparent. Ex-leftists, funded by the state, become apologists for American hegemony. Trotsky's permanent revolution morphs into permanent war. Same collectivist impulse, different flag. Austrian economics exposes the rot. No genuine market here, just crony subsidies for endless conflict, externalities dumped on taxpayers and victims abroad. But the CIA didn't stop at the left, they hijacked the right too. National Review Bible of Modern Conservatism isn't the organic creation it's sold as. It's Spark Willie Schlamm, a belligerent interventionist booted from the old right Freeman magazine for demanding war over Formosa. Classicist Revilo Oliver, a Buckley insider in the 50s, spills in his memoirs. National Review was designed to bankrupt the isolationist Freeman. Buckley cuts a secret deal to seize it, thwarted at the last minute. Undeterred, Buckley launches NR in 1955. His backstory: CIA service in Mexico City under E. Howard Hunt, directed by consultants like James Burnham. William Casey, future CIA director, drafts NR's legal papers. Buckley himself flips spectacularly. In 1954, he decries the military as brainwashing collectivists incompatible with freedom. By launch, full-throated warrior. Funding: daddy's oil money, sure, but rumors persist of CIA black funds via foundations. Staff riddled with ex-agents. Gary Wills wonders aloud if NR is a CIA op. Frank Meyer privately agrees. The goal? Smash the old right's non-interventionism. America first, limited government abroad. Just as FDR failed to purge isolationists, the CIA succeeds through Buckley. Result: conservatism redefined as welfare warfare statism. Neocons like Kristol's son Bill, funded by Murdoch, carry the torch today, pushing endless interventions via the Weekly Standard. Fast forward. The neocon legacy? Iraq's million-plus dead, hidden costs of empire, public disillusionment post-Gulf Wars. But cracks appear. Grassroots right, Rothbardian libertarians, traditionalists, nationalists, rejects the warfare state. Even leftists like Chomsky align on non-intervention. Movement conservatives, Perot voters, libertarians demand troops home, end the empire. The powerful corporate progressives and their neocon warpig twins stand exposed. Their ideology? Not organic conservatism, but a state-engineered virus to perpetuate control. From libertarian class analysis, the statist elite versus the productive people. Wars profit the connected and impoverish the rest. What now? Reclaim the true right. Peace, free markets, voluntary association. Reject the CIA-spawned hawks. Build agorist networks, parallel societies beyond the state's grasp. The golden torch of the stateless standard illuminates the path. No more wars for empire. Liberty through non-aggression. If this shattered illusions, like, share, and comment. Spot any neocon fingerprints today? Subscribe. We dismantle more statist myths 3 times per week. Torch high, empire down. This is the Stateless Standard. Stay free.